Get the brooms ready. The Tampa Bay Rays rack up another sweep, this time against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Rays Nation is happy, so let's talk about that right now.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
And we are the host of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making us your very first listen every day. Be sure to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're so close.
So close.
I know. We need to go viral again, like
Yes.
with the Wander Franco Flipgate. That's what I'm calling it. We had Kevin Kiermaier's card gate. We've had many other gates across the way, but Flipgate, I didn't realize that people would freak out and be so obsessed about something that I found to be relatively innocuous and silly. I guess people, they really like Yandy's bicep flex and Randy's arms cross, but I guess that's because those types of things happen after the course of a play or a hit or a home run, whatever it may be, while what Wander did was during the course of action while the play was ongoing. But regardless, we'll take it. Man, oh man, this Rays team, they're good. They're very good. They're excellent. They're fun to watch. And I know leading up into this series, I had made a comment about, I want the Rays to do well against the Pirates, but after this series, the Pirates can go on and win games, and I want them to be successful. I'm sort of regressing from that because of all their complaining, all Derek Shelton's hijinks. I mean, it's like, come on. I wouldn't think an upstart team like this, they'd have a little bit more moxie as opposed to relegating to complaints and blaming umpires. That's a Yankees move. That's a Red Sox move. That shouldn't be a Pirates move.
It is, and it kept increasing in annoyance.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
on Thursday's game, getting Zac Eflin to take off his rubber wedding ring off in the second inning because they were on edge, as Zach said, it just demonstrates that Shelton was so much in that umpire crew's ear, that they were like, look, we can't do this. Like, we have to like notice every little thing. It's like it's on his left hand, which is the glove hand, like, and it's a rubber one, so it's not like he's scuffing the ball anyway. It was ridiculous. So, yeah, the hijinks got a little bit out of hand, I think, from the Pirates side.
Right. I understand probably by Derek Shelton. I guess smart on him for deploying a little gamesmanship and trying to upset the rhythm and routine of Zac Eflin and the Rays. But clearly that was an episode and an experience of the Pirates. They have not run into a buzzsaw, a team like the Rays, and I think it got to them. And I'll admit, the home plate umpire gave Zac Eflin some really good strike three calls, but maybe that's the guy's strike zone. And after the first once, twice, three times it happens, you better adjust. Fastball, even if it's a little bit outside the normal zone, if that ump's calling it a strike, you better be prepared to choke up on the bat and swing, foul it off, do whatever you have to do. Again, first time, okay. All right. Wow, that was a second time. Okay. Well, if you're the Pirates and you have all the data, all the analytics, you have to know what an umpire strike zone is, and if you don't, you better get on it quick.
And we will have to wait until the scorecard comes out tomorrow to see if it was that blatant on one side, because for the first couple innings, what I was hearing from Neil and Andy on the radio was that it was going for both sides.
Okay.
For both teams, it was a little bit of a wider strike zone. But, regardless, you're right. You have to adapt. And I just, talking about gamesmanship and getting somebody off the rhythm. Well, whatever you did, Derek Shelton, by getting Zach Eflin a little bit mad and getting his wedding ring off, which after the game, he said that he really does not like to take it off ever. But guess what? He shoved. And how did he shove? Well, he shoved by getting 7 innings on 80 pitches, 10 strikeouts, no walks, 0 walks, 0 runs, and only allowing 3 hits. So Zach Eflin was on his game today. So I don't know if it had to do anything with the fact of the shenanigans from Derek Shelton, but it definitely showed up in the box score, and he was amazing. And one more thing. He was today's MVP, in my opinion, by the performance, not only because it was a very shiny line, but also because of what it meant for the bullpen. The bullpen, we know the pitching staff, what they're going through right now. So for him to give 7 strong innings and really not give any more work to more than 2 guys today, I think was critical.
Yeah, don't look now, but Zach Eflin is 4-0, has a 2.25 ERA. Clearly, the Rays were smart, at least thus far, in giving him that $40 million contract in free agency. And not just the strikeouts. 10 strikeouts, by the way. Has any Rays pitcher thus far accumulated double-digit strikeouts? That'd be a trivia question. I've seen a lot of 6, 7, and 8s, and maybe a 9 in there, but I don't know about a double-digit.
Shane McClanahan had 9 the day prior. So, yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's a good question.
And again, just Eflin generally, in addition to the strikeouts, just weak tappers, choppers, grounders, weak pop-ups, staying away from the heart of the plate against, again, a Pirates team that has been hitting for the most part this season. And just to go back to it real quick, I know we'll talk a little bit more about this game before previewing the Yankees series, but correct me if I'm wrong, Ulises, but I don't think Wander did Flipgate in this game or had an opportunity to do Flipgate. I do know what I saw was an excellent handling of an in-between scoop, a throw on the run to nab one of the speediest runners in all of baseball in Ji-Hwan Bae, 96th percentile in sprint speed, lefty, 13 stolen bases on the year. Again, whether you agree or disagree with the move that he did the other day, he is really coming to his own. Not just we know he can hit, but the fielding end of things, it's really shaping up, I would just say.
And I'm happy to hear you say that because I know a lot of Rays fans have, maybe let's move Wander Franco to third base or second base. It's like, no, he is your franchise guy. He signed a $180 million contract. Do not move that guy from shortstop. Yes, is Taylor Walls probably a better defensive guy? Maybe you can take the probably off and say, yes, Taylor Walls is a better defensive shortstop. But overall, you don't take off that production from that side. And it's not like he's there making errors all the time. He's no Bo Bichette, people. He's an above average shortstop, a tremendous arm, really agile. I don't know what else he has to do for those little Rays fans that still say, well, can you please take him up? He's 22 years old. He's showing he's an MVP caliber player. You are not taking this guy off shortstop. So please stop saying that on social media. I don't care how good Taylor Walls is defensively. This guy is your shortstop, and you're going to have to deal with it until he's like 30 years old.
Right. And I guess him not making a barehanded grab from the shortstop position in the left field bullpen is enough. I don't know. I don't think Taylor Walls makes that play. I think athletically, Wander can do things that Taylor Walls can't do. And I think the Rays are smart enough to know that they value the versatility of Taylor Walls to, okay, if we need a spot start or fill in a couple innings at short, we can do that. He can also play second and third. I think that helps the moving around end of things too, which, again, speaking on Taylor Walls, he's coming into his own, not just defensively. We've always known that, and being able to work counts and so forth, but the power and the overall hitting ability. Don't look now. He already has 5 homers, and there were 3 solo bombs for the Rays in this game. Taylor Walls won. Randy, Yandy getting oppo shots. I'm ready to say it right now. Death, taxes, Randy taking an outside pitch oppo for a bomb. Like that's becoming a theme as of right now.
And with Randy, it was a changeup low and outside, and he takes it oppo field. Like, I mean, what Randy's doing is tremendous this year. That's his 7th home run. Was it 7th or 8th? I forget. I think it was his 7th home run. But yeah, you can check me on that.
Yeah, it's his 8th. Walls hit his
8th.
5th. Randy's 8th. Yandy's 8th. So we could have a nice home run battle. We might get somebody that gets 30 home runs this year. We might be eating our words on that.
I mean, we might eat our own words, and you know what? I would love it if we did. But yeah, no, what Randy is doing with the bat is ridiculous. But of course, I think we do have to stress on the fact that Taylor Walls has not only increased his value defensively, because last year he was making errors at third and second at the beginning of the year. This year he's been flawless, not only at shortstop when he's had to be in that position, but he's also been spotless and flawless at second and at third. I mean, the plays that he's making, like Neil said the other day, he didn't even think that Nolan Arenado would make that backhand play. Like, he's really showing up right now, and with the bat, 5 home runs, like you said, that's really tasty.
Mm-hmm. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forget about, and chances are you're one of them. Like the Stars app just to watch one show, or that free gaming trial that you never actually used. Well, Rocket Money will quickly and easily find your subscriptions for you. And for any you don't want to pay for anymore, just hit cancel and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. It's that easy. Rocket Money also helps you manage all your finances in one place and automatically categorizes your expenses so you can track everything. So stop throwing your money away. You don't want to do that. Stop throwing away like the Yankees, seemingly. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/LockedOnMLB. That's rocketmoney.com/LockedOnMLB. The rule of 3, I'll say it one more time, rocketmoney.com/LockedOnMLB. All right, Ulises, before we get to a little Yankees Rays preview, one more thing that I want to mention. You might have more from the game in the series that you want to touch on, but we mentioned it very briefly. Jason Adam being able to maneuver and navigate a tough situation, gave up a couple runs on a gapper, but was able to close out the game. That's what you like to see and need from the bullpen. I couldn't imagine social media, anti-social media, Twitter, the internet, keyboard commandos if he allowed that game to be tied or blew a save there.
I love that. The KCs, the keyboard commandos.
Keyboard commandos. There's a lot of them out there.
Oh, and none of them have profile pictures with their own face. They have anime pictures or players' faces. It's like, all right.
Or it's an egg. It's a dull colored egg, basically.
Exactly.
Elon, what you need to do, you've made a lot of changes to Twitter for better or worse. Whatever you agree or disagree with on his approach to running Twitter, let's make it get rid of the eggs. Ensure that somebody has a profile picture and it's a real human talking.
If you were going to run for office, and you're telling me that your campaign slogan would be that if you're going to participate in social media, you have to know who you are, like your actual name and your face, I'd vote for that person. Like that's it. Anti-social media. But dude, I know it's been tough for Jason Adam this year. He hasn't been the guy that he was last year. I think we just have to understand. If you saw him in the World Baseball Classic, he also had a little bit of a couple hiccups there in the Venezuela game. He did not look great. So I am not ringing the bell of, oh my goodness, Jason Adam is doing horribly, but I am a little bit like, okay, maybe what is going on? What is going on? That's just a question. What is going on? Is everything feeling okay? Is the pitch mix not the same? What about the spin on the pitches? What kind of players is he facing? I would just try to go dive deep on what's going on with Jason Adam, but I'm not completely worried. But yes, it's definitely noticeable that he's not as locked down as he was last year. But if you're a Rays fan, you have a PhD on what pitching means. If you're a Rays fan, and if you're a Locked On Rays listener / subscriber, because you're hitting that button and you're hitting that like button to help us beat the algorithm and find more Rays fans, you know that we have preached here. Bullpens are volatile. One year you can be an all-star, and the next year you can be DFA'd, man. So Jason Adam, I'm not saying that this is his story, but I'm just saying there are going to be ebbs and flows.
I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, there could be a point where the Rays say, hey, Jason Adam, you're next Diego Castillo. Hey, Jason Adam, you're next Emilio Pagan. He gets shipped off and the Rays acquire another reliever or two or whatever it may be. So hopefully he improves and gets, I mean, it's hard to replicate when you're coming out of nowhere, but being a good Robin to the Batman of Pete Fairbanks would be very nice going forward for sure. All right. The Yankees come to town, come to St. Petersburg for a 3-game set, and they're not doing too hot. 17-15 on the year. They've been pitching pretty well. They're 6th in team ERA. The Rays are first, of course. Runs scored, the Yanks are struggling offensively. 24th in runs scored, just ahead of, wait for it, the Royals, Athletics, Guardians, Nationals, Marlins, and Tigers. The Rays have played a bunch of those teams already, by the way, I should mention. And the injured list, like we mentioned on the show yesterday, it is
it's full.
It is dotted. It is dotted with impact pitchers and impact position players.
It's crazy. I mean, you're talking no Judge, no Stanton, no Donaldson, no Severino, no Canley, no Rodon. It's
no Montas, no Trevino, no Canley. And then I read that Harrison Bader and Oswaldo Peraza exited or got dinged up in some shape or form.
And so it's not the Yankees of old. They're hurting right now. And I mean, when you're talking about Isaiah Kiner-Falefa playing center field, when you're talking that Isaiah Kiner-Falefa played left field the other day for the first time since spring training in an actual regular season game. I mean, look, Jake Bauers is a Rays legend, and I'll always want for him to do well. We liked him, but he's being brought up to the Yankees to help offensively.
Yeah.
And if you do not know what his career numbers are for Jake Bauers, I'll give them to you right now. 980 at-bats, a 213 average, a 659 OPS. The fact that this type of player is being brought up by the New York Yankees to help offensively should tell you where they are. Now, does that mean that this is going to be a walk in the park? No, because guess what? Could a Jake Bauers play with a chip on his shoulder like a Joey Ricard, like a Hunter Renfroe, and go on a revenge tour? Yeah. He very much
he could be Justin Turner. He could be Jose Bautista, and he finds magic or spark at 31, 32 years old. I don't know how old Jake Bauers is. I know he was a hotshot prospect, and it just never matriculated, which again goes back to our rule: don't prospect hug. But yeah, to your point.
Yeah, and I think he's around 26 years old right now. 26.
Oh, really? I thought it seems like he's been around forever. I don't know. Maybe it's because he's bounced around to a couple organizations. If he's 26 years old, that would blow my mind.
Okay. Let me check. I'm checking. 27.
Wow. I feel like he's been in the league since 2013. Really? Oh, really? Only since 2018. Okay.
Yeah, because he came up with Willie.
All right, so he could find his prime. I wouldn't bet on it, but crazier things have happened.
Exactly. But no, but this is the kind of this is where they are offensively. So if you're racing like, oh, where are the Yankees? Well, they're last in the standings and they can't seem to score runs. If they score 3 runs, Yankee fandom is feeling really good about themselves. Now, pitching wise, yeah, they've got good arms.
Mm-hmm.
You're only going to be facing, I think, a scary arm on Sunday with Garrett Cole. And they were able to do that because of their off day on Thursday. So unfortunately for the Rays, they don't get to miss Cole. But I do want to let people know this. I know it's early May, Kevin, and I know the whole thing is, hey, take it easy. There's a lot of games to be played. But remember, it's not 18 to 19 games against interdivisional rivals. You have 13 to 14, which means that in the next 2 weeks, Kevin, these two teams are going to be meeting up 7 times, 3 in St. Pete and 4 in the Bronx, which means this is the opportunity where the New York Yankees are hurt and the Rays are not. They could stomp on their face and put them away for the rest of the year. If they win 5 to 6 games, Kevin, out of these 7, you can forget basically about the Yankees.
Yeah. And that's, if that happens, you're talking about a tense fan base, a tense organization, a tense clubhouse. It's not loosey-goosey like the Rays. Heads roll, pressure mounts in that organization. They don't have fun. It just is what it is. And there's a lot of, I just feel like with a Yankees clubhouse, it's a lot of me first. I mean, guys are getting, huge multi-million-dollar contracts, which again, I think at some point, Cashman, Boone, I mean, if things really fall off the rails, they could be looking for a new general manager and a new manager after this season. But the Yankees have kind of done it to themselves when you go out and sign aging slugger, or you sign pitcher who is been eating innings for year after year after year. Like Giancarlo Stanton, for example, I mean, he played 18 games in 2019. 2020 pandemic season, he couldn't even play half the games there, just 23 games. 2021, 139 games. We'll never see that again from him. 2022, 110 games. He was somehow an all-star. And then this year, he's played in fewer than half the games, 13. Like, that's par for the course with these guys. When you have aging sluggers that aren't agile or mobile, it's what's going to happen.
So you can really take advantage of the situation. So I know that it's like, oh, it's May, like it's okay. I would really like to win both of this series. If you can take 5 out of these 7 games, you are really just pushing them on the throat and really just telling New York fandom you're not going for the division already in mid-May, which again could cause a whole lot of problems for them.
And again, it's not just them being in last place, but like all the other teams in the AL East legitimately could fight for a playoff spot. So that could leave them on the outside looking in. Could you imagine just the fan base if the Orioles make the playoffs and the Yankees don't?
Don't make me smile so much in an episode. I don't think it's safe for work.
It'd be wonderful. Yeah. All right. It is a Friday episode, which means we have baseball trivia, Name That War. But first, Ulises, we have to tell the audience about something very important.
Yes, and that is that this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Kevin is talking about loosey-goosey clubhouses. Well, maybe you want to have a loosey-goosey household, and that you can do by getting to know yourself a little bit better and increasing your self-awareness. And you can do that with therapy. If you're thinking of starting therapy, you have to give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You can just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists right anytime you want for no additional charge. So you can find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/lockedonmlb today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedonmlb.
All right, this is a total non sequitur here, but you had mentioned Jason Adam and the volatility of bullpens before we get into baseball trivia, Name That War again. baseball fans, Rays fans, understand it. Not every closer or high leverage reliever is as consistent as Mariano Rivera or Trevor Hoffman or Billy Wagner or Lee Smith or Dennis Eckersley. There's up and down moments, outings, months, seasons, and the way the Rays operate. They'll use guys up until they can't be used anymore, a la Nick Anderson.
And can I just say something like, if there will be times when closers blow a lead, they're human beings.
It happens. You're going to have a blown save or 2 or 5 or 8.
Right. So in those times, I understand being upset. But even at those times, know that you're upset, but know that, hey, they're human beings and they get to do that. Like it's par for the course. Like just like a guy's going to strike out and have a 3 strikeout day, they're going to have a time where they're going to blow a save. Don't get upset about Jason Adam letting in 2 runs in a 3-run lead. Don't. You'll have times where you will be upset. So don't let today or yesterday be one of those times. Yeah. That's what I would say.
It's amazing to me that this team is 26-6, and the narrative is Wander Franco's flip and the bullpen being atrocious. That's what that's what the headlines are. Come on.
This is an amazing team. They are doing amazing things. Nobody has seen what this team is doing right now. I mean, unless you were a Tigers fan in 1984, which, by the way, of course, there are people that saw that. But from what our demographic is, from what we understand on YouTube, at least on the portion of YouTube, y'all didn't see this either. So you're watching something historic in your lifetime. At least, for example, me and Kevin, we've never seen this ever. And it's the team that we're rooting for. Enjoy it.
Yes. By the way, that gets to my trivia question. It is related to the 1984 Tigers, who finished 104-58 that year. Actually, it's not. I'm just totally making that up. I was just looking them up now. They were in the AL East back then, though. That's interesting.
They were. I know. I read about that the other day. I did some digging on the 84 Tigers. Kirk Gibson, and they actually went 34-5. It was insane.
Yeah, Kirk Gibson, Alan Trammell, Darrell Evans, Howard Johnson. They had some good guys, of course.
Yeah.
All right, getting to my trivia question, and I'm trying to go on a theme here of doing a trivia question related to the forthcoming foe, and it is Tampa Bay, or I was about to say Tampa Bay Yankees. Oh my gosh, I've had too many beers today. Brain cells killed. All right, I'm drinking Diet Coke here. Relax, guys. Okay, New York Yankees. Career home run leaders in a Yankees uniform. I have a list of 1 through 10. Ulises, I want you to give me 6 names. 6 of the top 10 Bronx Bombers.
Babe Ruth.
That would be correct. He is number 1 on this list with 659.
Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle, number 2 on this list, 536.
Joe DiMaggio.
Jolton Joe is number 4 on this list with 361. You're halfway there.
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge is not on this list. Am I making... Hang on. I just want to do some fact checking here.
Please.
Because he should be on this list.
Right?
And if he's not, that would be
at least 150.
Oh, he is not on this list. No, he is... I wouldn't say well short. If I had to guess, he'd probably be like number 13, number 14, number 12, something like that.
Wow. Okay, so strike 1. So I only have how many then? 3 or 4?
You have 3 thus far. Ruth, Mantle, DiMaggio.
Okay. Think Yankee. Okay, and think longevity too. Not because only they were power hitters, but that they were longevity. So who were Yankees for a long time that had at least some? Oh, Derek Jeter. Duh.
Of course, he is number 9 on this list with 260.
Okay. 2 more, baby. 2 more.
Wander Franco is our Derek Jeter, by the way. Stay it short. Stay it short.
Yeah, except way better. Okay.
Pass the diving Franco. We'll say that in 10 years.
I remember. Oh god, I love that meme. Oh my god, that's like one of my favorite memes. Pasta diving Jeter. It's so bleeping funny. Okay. I remember us talking about that in college. Oh my god. Okay. 2 more, baby. 2 more. Not Bernie Will. Oh man, did he play? Nah, I mean he only played like 3. You said Jeter was 9 with 200 and how many?
260.
Oh yeah, then definitely not Reggie Jackson. Okay, so did Yogi hit that many? I don't think so. I'm forgetting another guy at Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris. Did I remember Roger Maris? I mean, he did have 61 in 1 year, so did he have enough to pull it off? Roger Maris.
Strike 2.
Damn, Daniel. Okay. Don't freak out. Robinson Cano, right? Robinson Cano, right? Not Sheffield, not Giambi. It has to be Cano. Cano was there for like 7 years, and he averaged like 20 a pop, so that'd be like 140. Oh, he's short. Bleep it. Robinson Cano.
Strike 3. You are going to be picking yourself after.
Son of a bleep.
Yeah, and in preparation for that name that war, I need some spirit on my side, so I've got a third co-host. Perry
can't help.
He's
What is
entered the
it?
chat. Babe Ruth number 1, Mickey Mantle number 2, Joe DiMaggio number 3, or number 4, Lou Gehrig number 3.
I knew I was missing
with
one.
493. Yogi Berra number 5 with 358.
I mentioned him.
Somebody named Alex Rodriguez. I've never heard of him, but 351. Number 7, somebody named Bernie Williams with 287. Number 8, I think this guy played catcher. Jorge Posada with 275. Derek Jeter number 9 and Greg Nettles number 10 at 250.
I want to hit myself in the face. I want to hit myself in the face. If I could deck myself, I would deck myself. Burn me on the cat.
That's why that's why I said name 6 instead of 5, because I thought you were just gonna be rattling them off like crazy.
And you know what? And the thing is, I said Yogi, and I was like, nah, don't do that. I knew I was missing somebody old, like Lou Gehrig. That's the one I was missing. And then I thought about Bernie Williams, but I was like, nah, there's no way he had that much pop to like get over Jeter. Yeah, he did. Damn it. Oh, okay, fine. Burn me in the comments, people. That's okay.
Oh, you're gonna get burned.
I'm gonna get burned.
Mistake.
You know what? Fine. You know, everybody needs to get burned sometime.
Pass the diving Ulises.
Pass the diving Ulises. Damn it. That's okay. I've shown enough trivia knowledge that I think I can kind of falter.
And you can't like get mad at me for that one. I mean, I didn't.
No, that was as fair. That was as fair as you can get. That was as fair as you can get.
I agree.
All right. Well, for Name That War, I have a player, which, by the way, if you're new to the show and you've never seen this segment, Name That War is when we take a player from the past and we try to guess their career war according to Baseball Reference. Now, today's past player, his name is Sean Figgins. What is Sean Figgins' career war according to Baseball Reference?
Longtime Angel. I feel like he had some sort of Rays connection that he was drafted by the. I got to be totally wrong on that. Or maybe he's from. You know what? I think he didn't.
Very good.
He's from Tampa Bay area, like he went to Brandon High School or something?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you props for that. He indeed went to Brandon High School. That's ridiculous that you know that. You're really good at that stuff.
I'm good at like local, hyper
Yeah.
local, name somebody. Oh, this guy was from the Tampa Bay area. Like I'm pretty good at that stuff. Sean Figgins.
Yeah.
Ooh, throwback. He would thrive in this new rule system of baseball.
He would wreak havoc, man. He would wreak havoc. He's disgusting.
Question: was he a switch hitter?
Was he a switch hitter? I don't have that. Let me look that up.
While you're doing that, I'm going to do some math. He had to play at least a decade in the league. I'm going to say probably 13 years, give or take. He had to have at least 300 stolen bases, maybe 350. Did not have a lot of pop. He probably had, 100, 120 home runs in his career. Batting average, I feel like he never struck out either. I could be wrong on that.
He was a switch hitter. Yes,
was a switch hitter. So very skilled in that respect. He probably had a career 282 batting average, something along those lines. I don't know much about him defensively, if I haven't mentioned that already. I'm going to say 26 career WAR for Sean Figgins.
Well, his career slash line was a 276, 349 on base, 363 slugging, a 712 OPS. That's a 92 OPS plus. He had a grand total of 35 Jimmy Jacks. And
wow.
I know, right? And he stole 341 bases. Man, that's a lot. And in 1 year, in 2005, he had 62, which is tremendous. And he followed that up with 52 and then 41. So he was a demon on the bases. And his career WAR is, you give him a little bit more love at 26. He was at 22. Sean Figgins' career WAR is at 22.
Very good. I was kind of in the ballpark with the slash line and the numbers, not the home runs per se, but it seemed like I was trying to go like sort of a similar-ish career to Luis Castillo, not the pitcher, the position player, of course.
Right.
But Castillo had a little bit more punch and pizzazz and name recognition, I guess. Question before we end, I know we're going long. What made you pick Sean Figgins?
I know that we hadn't done an Anaheim career WAR guy in a long time, and that's how I do it. And then I just pick a random year, and then I look at the roster, and I look at a name that, hey, he would probably know this player. That's how I do it.
Yes. Love it. Love it. All right. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. I know everybody likes to listen in on Friday when Evan Klosky's on. He is doing bigger and better things right now. We should have him back on next week, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, thank you for making the Locked On Rays podcast your very first listen every day, and subscribe to that YouTube channel of ours. We're trying to get to 1,000. Tell your friends, tell your family, create a fake account, and get that number up. We want to get it to 1,000. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you next week.